Okay, so I'm pretty late for the hype of the Prehistoric Planet 2 trailer, but I need to talk about it because this is a dinosaur channel, and I need to get my thoughts out there, dang it. So, long story short, this trailer looks great. I, of course, really liked the first season. The first season was a really big breath of fresh air in portraying accurate dinosaurs with some healthy speculation here and there. Of course, not everything was accurate, and some speculation did go a little bit too far, but for the most part, it was a very solid documentary that I just love, and I love returning to all the time. And this trailer for season 2 looks like it's going to be taking everything that was great about the first season and dialing it up to 11. It looks phenomenal. But one thing that I thought was lacking in the first season was other non-dinosaur animals. I mean, we got pterosaurs and aquatic creatures, of course, creatures that are not dinosaurs, but are still very well known in the public eye. What I was wanting is like more than that. So more mammals, some crocodilians, and more of the giant frogs. But a teaser image actually revealed that they will be pushing in that direction, and I am so excited for it. May I introduce Simosuchus? Simosuchus is one of my all-time favorite crocodilomorphs, and I could not be more excited for its inclusion in Season 2. If you don't know, it's a Notosuchian crocodilomorph that lived in the late Cretaceous, of course, of Madagascar. So it'll be showing up alongside Majungasaurus in the Islands episode, where I assume they're going to be taking a segment for Madagascar, which of course makes sense. But Simosuchus is a great choice in my opinion. It's actually a terrestrial crocodilomorph. You know, with his legs underneath its body rather than being sprawled out. The osteoderms are also really interesting on it, making more of like an armor type thing that is quite unique to a lot of other crocodilomorphs. But the most fascinating thing about it, at least to me, is of course the skull. I mean, at first you could mention that it's very stubby. It's also known as the pug-nosed crocodile, and for good reason. But the skull also has maple leaf shaped teeth, which are of course more suited for vegetation, which means that our friend here was a vegetarian, which is very cool because the majority of the viewing public, when they think of old relatives of modern day crocodiles, they will likely think of like predators, you know, like the meat eating, really cool Caprosuchus, Deinosuchus, Sarcosuchus, all of those guys that are really popular, but they won't think of a vegetarian. So this is an incredible inclusion, and also because I love these guys, I'm so excited to see them. But also there were some images teasing more aquatic life, which is, you know, always welcome, as well as us getting a little bit more focus on the mammals. And of course the trailer showed a little bit of a confrontation between Beelzebufel and you know, the sauropod, so that'll be really fun. But just because I'm really excited for the non-dinosaur things doesn't mean that I don't have excitement for the dinosaur things, because there's a lot to look forward for that too. Of course, there's the Triceratops fight, which looks awesome. I mean, of course, they probably couldn't charge into each other like this. They would likely break their faces if they tried to do something like that. But seeing more herbivores being a little bit more aggressive than what we see the predators doing is always a good look in my opinion, because of course today, for the most part, herbivores are often more aggressive and violent than carnivores are, because they're essentially always in a constant state of survival, and so you have to be, because your life might depend on it. The same was almost definitely true for dinosaurs, especially ones for like ceratopsians, which of course are pretty much suited to attack anything they come across if they feel threatened enough. Now all I need is a hadrosaur fighting against a giant theropod, then my life will be complete. Because, I mean, come on. A lot of hadrosaurs were huge. Most theropods would probably think twice before taking them on. I'm also really excited for the inclusion of Pachycephalasaurs. Because, for the most part, in media, after I thought about it a while, we don't see too many Pachycephalasaurs. The most recent one that I could think of was, of course, in Fallen Kingdom with a Stygimoloch. And it looks like we're getting two genera of Pachycephalasaurs in this, which of course is extremely exciting. I'm just interested on if this is Pachycephalosaurus, and if they're just planning on doing the whole Jack Horner's idea of, you know, Stygimoloch and Dracorex are actually younger individuals of the same genus. I think that would be really fun. But if you guys know which genus this is supposed to be sure to let me know. And finally, I am extremely excited to see the confrontation between this pair of Quetzalcoatluses and this Tyrannosaurus Rex. This is going to be great, and not just because it'll be like dumb action, awesome bro dinosaur fight type thing, but mainly because when it comes to pterosaurs, even the larger Asdarchid pterosaurs, they're typically shown as mainly scavengers or just going after smaller prey, which is probably not too accurate, especially with something as large as Quetzalcoatlus, which reached giraffe heights, so that's pretty big. Now, of course, they're not nearly strong enough to be able to take on a T-Rex and live. I mean, they're roughly about the same weight as a grizzly bear, which is surprising for its size, but you need to be relatively light to actually be able to fly. But just because they don't have size and power on their side doesn't mean that they can't try to get this Tyrannosaurus away from the kill, especially if they're hungry enough. Because it does happen in nature today. A lot of times when the situation is correct, a smaller animal that you probably wouldn't think would win a fight against a bigger animal is going to try to get that bigger animal away from a kill, or just a territory, or of course they're young or something like that. It does happen in nature. The animal will try to make themselves look bigger, sound bigger, perceive themselves more of a threat just to try to get them away. And that could very well be what's happening right here. And with 2 Quetzalcoatluses, there's a good chance that the T-Rex might back away from something like this, just to avoid any potential injury. Also, the corpse that it looks like it's defending is an Alamosaurus. I think it's probably unlikely that the Rex took down this Alamosaurus. It probably is already dead, and these 3 just found it, but still really cool that Alamosaurus is in this. I can't recall if we actually see an alive one throughout the trailer. I hope so, because as far as sauropods go, it's one of the least represented ones. It was the sauropod of North America at the end of the late Cretaceous. Of course, there weren't too many sauropods left by that point, but Alamosaurus is, one of them. Also one with osteoderms, which they have included on it. We don't know the exact placement of the osteoderms, but it's still really cool that they included it. Yeah, this season looks like a ton of fun. It looks like it's going to be a highlight when it comes to prehistoric media, in my opinion. If not for anything else, simply for Simosuchus. I am so extremely happy that Simosuchus is going to be in this. But yeah, those are my basic thoughts of this upcoming season. If you guys have anything else that you would like to contribute, be sure to let us know in the comments below. And that is the end of this video. Have an awesome day.